And today we are really proud of having Ricardo Pereira, co-founder and director CEO of comOn, the comOn Group. And we're really happy to have him here and share his experience today on starting a venture, growing a venture, and especially focus a bit on like scaling a venture. And I would like to maybe give you the opportunity first to introduce yourself and maybe a bit of comOn, and then we start in this conversation.
Let me this interactive. So thank you so much, René. So I try not to bore you with a commercial speech, but I will give some context to what comOn is and to what we have been doing. I have some keynote presentation, but we will skip it. I just want to show you some real too, so that you can visualize what our most recent work is. But I want to tell that comOn Group now works on the creative industry, and we have three big companies. One is a user marketing agency, is comOn, now with 86 talented people, and we work with major Portuguese and international brands here in Portugal, some projects abroad, in the States, in Africa, also in Brazil, and mostly in London, but most of our clients are in Portugal. And we also have Build-Up Labs. Build-Up Labs is a startup studio. You know what a startup studio is? Yes?
Maybe not everyone.
A startup studio is like a startup that creates startups. Okay? So we already had an exit to L'Oreal, and we have three new startups that are getting global traction, already recognized by Web Summit, Forrester, and so. And I won't explain to you each one of those startups, but I invite you to visit Build-Up Labs website. But more than the success startups that we have in Build-Up Labs, we have a huge graveyard. So we fail a lot, and we learn with those failures. And we will be talking today mostly also not only about success and talent and commitment and so, but also about failure and how that can empower us. Okay? So we have also Show People in comOn Group. Show People is a very small boutique of events and entertainment that work for TV shows to brand entertainment and so. And together we are 108 young and talented people here in Lisbon, and we are in the east side of the city, the new creative hub. It's Matinha, and we are growing since 18 years ago now. I will show you just a small reel of some work.
Okay. I don't know why. Wait a second.
You know Murphy? You know Murphy law?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So it can happen. If it can happen, it will.
Sure. Maybe that was a problem because that suddenly it's restarted. Once it's restarted, we got.
It's not restarted, so I think it's not a problem. I invite you to visit comOn.pt, then you have a lot of reels and case studies of our work. And so I think we can start with some Q&A. It will be more fruitful.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ricardo, for that introduction. My apologies for Murphy's Law. Nothing I can. But you know, one of the things that is very interesting for us here, being like young aspiring entrepreneurs, let's say, like, what motivated you to become an entrepreneur, and how did you get into that? Were you always an entrepreneur?
My father and my mother say so, but since the beginning, I just want to do stuff, do things, organize events, learn, mobilize people, and since very early I was scout. I always organize huge events, huge parties where you spend the money you don't have. At the end, it turns out okay. But you learn, and you learn. during my academic period, I was president of Students' Union for 3 to 4 years. I learned a lot during that period, not only about the curriculum of the course, but also with this social and leadership experience. It was very, very important for me. And I started working, giving lessons. I was a teacher for 1 year, then I was working as a tech consultancy team. 6 months after I was managing 10 people, 1 year later I was managing 16 people, and 2 years I was invited to manage more than 100 tech programmers, coders at the time. And I was always suggesting, why not this, why not that, why we should work this way, we should offer the market that new service or new product. And at the beginning I was receiving, oh, interesting. 2 months later I was receiving, oh, we'll see. 1 year later I was not receiving any answer to my entrepreneur. You know entrepreneurship? When you are entrepreneur working in someone else's company. And I was frustrating, getting more and more frustrated, and oh, it doesn't make any sense. Please just say me, why not? And they told me, because your mission here is to do this. But yes, I can do this, but we can do this better. Oh, but we don't want to. So I want to, and I move. Because otherwise, I will be blaming others for my frustration, and it doesn't make any sense. I should be the gatekeeper of my success, not my boss, not my father, not my mother, not my girlfriend. It should be me. So I decided to quit, and I gave them a 6 month period to find someone to substitute me, and they did it only in the last month. But during that period, I started to build a business plan, an idea, and how you put that idea for real. And the first thing that I knew is that I won't make it by myself alone. It just don't make any sense. All the projects I did previously was with a team, being me the leader or not. So I decided to build it with a great friend of mine that was already also my colleague in the school, very early stage. Then he moved to a different path, and we got together and okay, let's build this. And then we were inviting one more person. It was a bad casting. He was a great friend, but not in the same mood. And then we were invited to already established company. Then we replied, no, you are great. Your company is not great, but we like you. So why don't you join our project? And then he accepted, and he joined our project. And it was 18 years ago, I think. And then we started to look for help. We had the idea. We had the plan, but we didn't have means, monetary means, so we were looking for help. Not necessarily money, capital, but mostly give us space, give us mentorship, give us ways to go to clients, to the market. And so we started to build some network, and when we were almost launching our company, we were launching our company around one product. It was a tech product, and in the month before, a very similar product appeared in the market. Very, very similar. So we decided to go and compete with that product, but it was financed by some big companies in Portugal, and we didn't have the muscle to compete. Or we changed our business model, and we did it. So we moved in the same context from one product-oriented company to one service-oriented company about the same context. And that gave us a huge mindset of agility. We should be very agile, and we have a business model, a business plan. Don't just stick to it as a Bible. Put in question, or your clients will. Okay, so you have to iterate and to always be looking if we are with the right strategy, with the right KPIs. And since even before the beginning, we were already putting some agility in the process.
Ricardo, like, now how you explain it sounds like very smooth. One of the things, of course, now when we now start our ventures, of course at the beginning you might not have a customer. How did you finance that period? Because that's one thing that we're also discussing today. How do you finance a period from, okay, you had the idea towards the first customer? Is there like also anything that you could suggest to us?
So it's a very bad idea to start without a customer. You shouldn't do that. It's a very risky. Or you have some financial partner that help you to have a bridge of 6 months at least, so that you can breathe. And you should breathe. Otherwise, you will be just looking for urgency and don't look for the important things. So it's very important for you don't have to worry too much with the cash flow. You have to worry with the cash flow, with having money at the end of the month to pay your salary and your team's salary, your taxes, and so and so. But if it takes your 100%, I don't say time, but mindset, you just won't be creative. It will suffocate you, and it will limitate the energy and the creativity.
And would you say that you said, well, start like 100% on developing your idea and live from savings, for instance, or would you say like, well, have something where you start a bit of a dual strategy and so still work for in another job and work in the evenings on the business model, or what would you do?
We all know different case studies of very success that just born in the garage and it was a part-time at the moment, and they kept their cash cow salaries so that they can focus at night. It can be a solution. I'm not sure it works all the time. And if it takes too long, I would say 3-6 months, I don't think it will work, because most of the examples, at least in Europe, that I know, if you don't put all your energy and all your effort, you won't give all you can take, and you will be always, oh, maybe this didn't work because I was not 100% focused. Maybe this didn't work because I was not there. And you will be having excuses and excuses not to kill fast. And you have to have the ability to kill fast. It can be your whole project or just some try and error tactic that you built to. And if you are not there 100%, my suggestion is go for it, go with everything, and if you fail fast. Okay.
Say, now of course comOn is already very established and already on the market for a long time. But once you started, let's say like the first 2 years, was there any event where, when you think back, it was like, oh, that was a major learning for me? So something where you would say like, okay, that's something that would be good for us to know or to be prepared for.
The first 2, I would say 3 years, it was so energy taken, because I work, I would say, for every weekend, no holidays. You just end up missing some social parts of the living. You put all your energy on it. In some cases, you are not sure that you will be receiving your salary at the end of the month. You have to go and to gain traction and to build some dependency of the cash flow. And when you will get, and it depends on if you are product oriented or service oriented. We were service oriented, but at some point you will have, should I take this risk? And a risk can be a project, a client that is very demanding, and it's demanding for you to do something that you don't know how to do. And we decided, yes, we will risk and we will manage, because if we are not able to do it by ourselves, we'll find someone that can help us.
Okay.
That was our mindset in Portugal. At that point, when we did that breakthrough and we managed to do it by ourselves, the margin, the profit was not that much, but our self-confidence and the perception of the market of the work that we do lose so much And I must tell you, my two partners at the time were not in favor to do that. But I put my head on it. Oh, if we don't do that now, we will never. We need this.
Yeah.
And we did it. And it was a success, but it was 3 to 4 months without much sleep. But it turned out a huge jump for us because we took a risk that we didn't knew at the time how to deal with it. But we were self-confident, and we knew that if we are not able to do it by ourselves, we will find someone that can.
Sure.
It was once I remember. Other this is one success. Other failure. At the moment, I try to have someone inside the team that can help me with the market. And I invited a guy that I wanted him to be something, but he didn't want to. So it was a casting error.
Okay.
And I was not fast on inviting him to leave. I tried, or maybe I was not right, maybe I didn't give him the right conditions, maybe I didn't give him the coaching that he needed, and so and so and so. And at 1 year later, I decided, no, it's just not working for us, and it's not working for you. It took me too long. 1 year is too much time, even when you are very small. It was too much, and it was very harmful because he was a great friend of mine.
So that makes it very difficult, no?
It was even more difficult. And for me to be able to do that, I was already losing money because I was paying without any value in coming back. But I invest more time on outplacing him and having other career opportunity for him, so that I don't feel that bad person of sending off the team.
I can totally see that. Also, especially, let's say one of these groups would say, okay, we take this further, and then it's a group of 4 students, let's say, and 3 of them have like very good shared value, let's say, and mission and sense of mission, but like one of them would say like later on it's kind of not in line, and it's very difficult for the team to be like, look, you just don't fit. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's learning with now we call it radical candor. That moment was a very important lesson that still is with us. The radical candor and the outplacement. Okay, because this take us to something that it cannot be only about work. If you want to have a team, it should not be only about work. It should be about it has to have a meaning more than the work for this team to be together. Team building tactics, they have to know each other, they have to have at least one common denominator that bounds them. It's very important. And it has to be a balanced situation, because in some periods you have to do an extra mile every day, but in some other months, so maybe you can, don't have to work on Monday, or so this flexibility it creates respect with each other and give us the legitimacy so to demand help when you need to extra mile to a pitch, to some client demand somewhere milestone that you have to work for. But also the outplacement, it's very important, because when
you say outplacement, could you maybe quickly explain?
Outplacement, if you are sending someone out of your team, and you are helping that person to find a next step on their career, next job, next missions in someone else's company or whatever. And we do that almost 100% of the people that work at comOn. At the end of the day, it's very good for you because you feel well, but it's very good for your team that feels, they respect us. And it's very good for your ex-colleague because he will grow. And if you build and manage to keep a very good relationship, you are building networking. Okay? And it's very, you give and take, so pay it forward, and it's win-win, even if it takes some amount of time, but it's very good learning that we had in the second third year.
That's a great idea. That's really nice. That's a key learning for us, I think. One of the things that I was curious, you mentioned a couple of times working for 4 months without little sleep, and sometimes you have to walk the extra mile. Could you maybe, I think sometimes it's nice to give insight into how does the life or like the daily life of an entrepreneur look like yourself? Like, do you have a routine? How do we have to imagine ourselves like your day? What you get up and then what happens in the Ricardo life?
Okay, it's very different nowadays than it was 18 years ago. Now I have different quality of life, different because I'm not sure that I sleep more, but it's for different reasons. Now I have 3 kids, so
Okay.
I don't get that much of sleep. But nowadays I go to sleep, I would say 1 a.m., midnight, 1 a.m., and I wake up 6:30. Then I have 3 kids. Lots of logistics, take them to school, help them with the school bags and so. And at 9:30, maybe in some cases 10, I am at the office, and I already do some warm up. What's the warm up? Because I have at least half an hour of drive time, I do warm up. I know exactly what my, Pareto principle?
There's 50-50, I think.
Pareto principle, 20%, 80%. 20% of the input, 80% of the output. The last 20% of the projects take 80% of the time and all the energy. 20% of the clients give us 80% of the value, and so on and so on. So it also works when you are trying to do smart work management. Okay, so in the morning or in the evening, I know exactly what I should do the next day. What are the tasks or the missions? Okay, then which are the 20% that will say that it was a good day. Not all, because all are important, all are urgent, but the 20% more valuable. Okay? So I will split them in 20 minutes period. And Pareto principle helped me to prioritize. And then Pomodoro technique, you know Pomodoro technique?
I think that's new for a lot of people.
Pomodoro technique is a technique that says that your brain is not created for marathons. It's about sprints. Okay. Even if you can be focused for 1 hour, your excellence time of efficiency is 20 to 25 minutes. So you should split your day, your missions, in 20 to 25 time slots. Okay. So the Pareto helped me to prioritize. Pomodoro helped me to split in the day. And during 20 to 25 minutes, I'm focused, I'm working, and I do that. For 5 to 10 minutes, I don't smoke, but I can go to the bathroom, I can go to social media, I can do that call, and blah, 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 blah. Then one more Pomodoro period. Okay, more 20 minutes. And at the end of the day, you will have much more and better work done. Other technique, so that I use a lot or try to use a lot is, David Allen from GTD, Getting Things Done. It's another theory where he says that you should get things done, and you should take away of your brain the things that interrupt you. Okay, that's his principle. What are the things that mostly interrupt us? Please help.
Phone.
Phone, yes. Social media, right? Social media again, yes. Other people, right? That's all true. Email, and more than email, what interrupts us? Ourselves, our brain. When I was a student and I had to do some homework, during that time, I was always going to the fridge, to the bathroom, because I didn't feel like I was always interrupting me, because I didn't want to be focused on the task I was doing. Okay, so getting things done, GTD theory, says to you that you should trust in tools and put the data and the info in those tools so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to remind when it's my birthday. You just put it on the calendar. You don't have to know what is my phone number. You just put it on the contacts. You don't have to remind what is your task list. You to put it on a task list. And a task list can be an app, a mobile app, or it can be a post-it. It can be a Moleskine. It can be whatever you want. Each one of us define his suite of tools, his toolbox that is more adapted to him. Okay? So you take away of your brain all this, and you just put time so that you can be focused and don't have to, if you have to go to shopping before going home. It's all is in the tools. So all of these three help me a lot to be focused. Then I go home 6, 7, 8. Obviously, before going to sleep, I check my email. At the morning, I check my email. Oh, but getting back to getting things done. Sorry. You should always have inbox 0. Because if you don't have inbox 0, then you will be getting some anxiety, and it's not a good thing. So, did anyone else here ever send an email to himself? Almost everyone. That's a very stupid thing to do. Because email is not a to-do list. Email is not about reminders. Email is about communication. So you should go to email in your first Pomodoro in the morning, maybe in the last Pomodoro in the morning. The first Pomodoro of the afternoon and the last Pomodoro of the afternoon. And don't, if there's something urgent, they will get a way to go and meet you with, not in the inbox, but in person or whatever. Don't send emails to yourself. And when you have an email, read it, process it, reply, forward, archive. If it's not any of this, it's a task, it's not an email. So if it's a task, archive and write in your task list. It can be a Moleskine, whatever, but not inbox. Okay, inbox 0 all the time. Even if you receive 3,000 emails per day. I was in that situation, not anymore, and I was able to have inbox 0. Okay, so it helped me a lot with managing my time and getting more sleep. And yes, now I can sleep at least 5 to 6 hours, and it's a good thing. Not everyone needs to sleep 5 to 6. For instance, my wife needs to sleep at least 7 hours. Otherwise, I should move for my own safety. But you find your how much your sleeping time, because in some cases sleeping it can be the disease. No.
Okay. So today's topic that we were going to discuss later is a lot about growing, scaling, and also kind of like financing ventures. Do you have something where you can tell us when you start a new venture? And you already said like that there's like at least 2 companies that come out of the comOn group that have now also global reach and a lot of traction. So what would you give as advice for scaling, growing, and let's say cash flow management?
I would say first you have to have a team. It cannot be all in your back, okay? So that you can focus on this or on that. If you are focusing a lot on investor relations and not focusing on the product or on the service, maybe you have a problem. But I would say the two, there are 3, there are a lot, but at least the 3 more important that I remind now is think global, always think. Don't think some small market. Even if you, at some point you have to find your product market fit, because you have to find which niche of target is the perfect for you to build some storytelling to the market. Maybe in some case you can work for the very large target, but for this small, it's very, very, very accurate and very precise and very fruitful for them. So focus on that. Okay, it's very, 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 very important. But even if you are focusing on a very small niche, focus. Think global. Not Portugal, not Europe, but global. The scale from here to Spain, it's, I would say, 10. I was in an event last year, and they was saying that if you bring all the investment that are made now on startups in Europe, it's half of the investment of the New York State. And all the investment in New York State is half of the investment in Silicon Valley. And all the investment annual in Silicon Valley is the same that one only deal in China. So, should we think in Portugal when we can be global? So think global. To scale, it's very important to think global. The other thing is empathy. It's not about your taste, your likes or dislikes, your references. It's about your user shoes. This is a mantra of comOn, but it can work if you apply design thinking and some other techniques that to build, to ideation and to build products to life. It's very important because when you are defining what is a good idea or not, what is an MVP, you know what MVP? Minimum viable product, a sine qua non product that you should be focused on. If you think using empathy or putting yourself in your client's shoes and thinking as he thinks, feeling as he feels, it helps you a lot to know what should you go with, which feature, which plane, which price, which business model, which distribution. Always on the user view, not yours. Okay? But it has to be empathy. It cannot be only about social demographics. It's about journey, it's about triggers, it's about emotions. How should they feel? This is very important. And if you put empathy in a global level, it's hard. Okay? It's not only about desk research. You should meet people. And in Lisbon, it's very easy to meet people from all around the world. And especially events like Web Summit. You should go there, not only for the talks, but to talk with people face to face from China, from Africa, from South America, to how they feel, how the markets go, how is e-commerce there, how are the e-payments made. All of this helps you a lot to build empathy with your future clients. Okay? These I think are the two more important. I think
okay. Thank you very much, Ricardo. I mean, now unfortunately half an hour goes really, really fast, but before we start,
okay,
maybe one of the things, is there like one thing that you would like to give us as kind of like a, you know, something that you say like, look, this is something that you should do, or that's something that you keep in mind? Or let's say, if your kids were now, or your children would be as old as the students are, what would you give them on their journey? What would you say?
I will repeat something that I already said. It's always about people with the right attitude. So find the right people. Don't do it by yourselves only. Okay? It's more fun when you do it with a team, because even when you are down, it's very handful to have a partner with you to do your work. And even when you are celebrating, it's very good to have someone celebrating, because when we did, oh yeah, and after the Eureka you are, and then the other one is still Eureka, and it takes longer, and the energy renews itself. So it's all about people, and do it within a team. Empathy. It's not about you, your ego. It's about your user. Sensations, emotions, needs, frustrations, fears. It's about him, not about you. Because if it's about you, okay, maybe it's not entrepreneurship the right thing to do. Okay, you can be an artist, not an entrepreneur. And the third, fail fast. I would say, fail fast. Don't be afraid to fail. We fail in so many ventures. We have a huge graveyard at Build Up Labs. Ideas that were great, they are still great, but not at time, not with the right execution, not with the right money. You can fail for different reasons, but you are much more closer to the success if you fail before. Okay, and I will end up, if you don't mind, with something that I've been learning, because at some point you are very obsessed with success and with the destiny you want to reach, to the achievement, to the goal. But if you forget the path,
your day-to-day basis, you end up be very less human, more mechanical. It's not a good thing. So it's not about the destiny, it's about the path we cross, and you should take advantage of that journey. And you will end up being much more successful than the others that go straight to the stage and to the KPI and to the goal that you want to reach. So this is.
Thank you very much. I think it's really nice that you said that at the end, that we should enjoy kind of the past, because I mean, it's just so easy to forget about it.
Yeah.
And just when you said it, I realized that how nice it is to have you now also on our path here to venture creation. So that was really, really nice having you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It was
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.